Today, DeNiro and I are heading for the hills, so why not come with us as we go roaming in the Lomonds. Today we are going to go and climb East Lomond and get a look at the views from the top of that, and then we're going to go and see what else we can find in the area. The Lomond Hills are located in Fife, approximately halfway between Edinburgh and Dundee. And if you go looking for them, you can't really miss them. They kind of dominate the entire skyline. We've made a small investment of something to make life a bit easier when we're on our adventures. We've got DeNiro a harness that fastens to my waist. So now I've got two hands free, so you won't see the jerky camera work when DeNiro decides he wants to try and pull me over. Away up there is where we are hopefully headed for, but we'll see how far we make it because it is quite a long way. That is the top of East Lomond, so we're going up there for a wee look. Now we know there was a Pictish hill fort up on top of this hill, but I don't imagine there's a great deal of that left. But from down here I can see people in sort of high vis and stuff, so I'm guessing there might be some archaeology going on, so we'll go up there and see if we can annoy them with a drone. Although I am wondering if we've come the right way, because that is that's not that's not a path, that's a cliff face. A very small cliff face, but a cliff face nonetheless. Let's go up this way. Oh, I think we've come the wrong way because this looks like the actual path just here, so we should have started a bit further along. But hey ho, here we go up the big hill. It's not a bad view from up here today. It's not quite as clear as it was yesterday, which is a bit disappointing. But once we get to the top of that big hill that is up there, we are going to put the drone up and do some panoramas and all that good stuff that I know you people quite like. This is definitely going to be one of those walks where I get more and more out of puff the higher up we get. So I don't know how much of my intelligent conversation you'll have between here and the top of that big hill. We are quite liking this new harness arrangement. Yeah, as you walk up this hill you can see why this is a good place for a hill fort, because anybody attacking would be absolutely exhausted by the time they got halfway up, never mind all the way to the top. I am expecting some nice views from the top of this hill. Better be, it's a long way up. Yeah, definitely looks like archaeology is happening up here. We'll probably not film them because they might not want to be filmed. I'll talk to you again when I get to the top and get my breath back. And we have made it. Now wait till you guys see this view, you are going to love it. Well, that was pretty cool. You come up here and get a really good view and there's nobody about, and 5 minutes later there's 20 people standing on the summit. This is a very, very popular walking spot and you can see why. I mean, the drone shot showed you how cool it all looks around here. Amazing view. It'd be nice now, slightly clearer day. Might bring you back up here when the weather is a little bit less claggy. Less what? Well, that'll be time for our word of the day. DeNiro, stop eating sheep poo, which is kind of difficult in a sheep field, but hey ho. DeNiro, stop it! That's disgusting. We'll lose followers if you keep eating sheep poo. As well as nice views of, well, most of central Scotland, you also get a cracking view of the village of Falkland with its famous palace. Now we have been there in a previous episode, but we'll go down there later on today for a wee bit of a recap. Right sir, if you've quite finished posing, can we go back down the hill now? Or are you just going to lie there looking for more sheep stuff to eat? The archaeologists have certainly got a lovely day for their scraping about in the soil down there. No idea what they're finding, but as we said before, this is a Pictish settlement and it's probably got hundreds and hundreds of years of habitation, so I bet there's some interesting stuff and probably quite a lot of bits of stone. This is quite steep and DeNiro's doing quite a lot of sliding down the hill and I'm trying to film him, so the gods of irony say that I am going to fall over and hurt myself and he's going to be absolutely fine. But he has got four-wheel drive, to be fair. It is, as we may have mentioned before, a lot easier going down than it is going up. I think DeNiro wants to go and join the archaeologists, or possibly just go and get a scratch from the archaeologists. They might have biscuits in their packed lunches. I always wonder what archaeologists are actually getting out of it. I don't mean out the ground, because as you know, we occasionally go do a bit of bottle digging or a bit of exploring Victorian dumps. And we come away with things. We come away with bottles or lead horses or like really cool things. They're just going through some Pictish stuff. They're not going to find very much. How did your archaeology go today, dear? Oh, we found a pebble. DeNiro is still trying to eat sheep poo. We're going to put his muzzle back on him, except we threw it out the day after we got him. You can see our house from here, and you actually can. It's out there in beautiful, sunny, lovely Methil. That's Largo Bay, Leavenmouth, Buckhaven, Methil, and then Leven, and then the nice bits. So it's nice bits, then Buckhaven, then Methil, then Leven, then more nice bits. Now from up there you can see the village of Falkland. Well, actually from up there you can see most of Scotland, but particularly you can see the village of Falkland, which we have visited previously, and I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video. When we were up the top of the hill I said it would be better if the day wasn't quite so claggy, but now we're down the bottom of the hill, it's cleared up and the sun's come out. I'm not going back up there. What a nice wee walk. And unusually in the car park here they allow overnight parking by camper vans. They'd like you to pay £10 to contribute towards the upkeep of the place, but if you were to park down there in your wee camper van, that would be the view that you had out there over the River Forth out towards Edinburgh and towards East Lothian, and unfortunately Methil and Buckhaven as well, but you can't have it always. We're having to come back down the tricky way that we went up and not the proper path, because at some point DeNiro's bottle of water has fallen out of my little pouch, so I'll have to go and find that. A, can I leave plastic bottles lying about, and B, DeNiro might quite like a drink after his long walk. Which means we're back at this cliff face thing that DeNiro will just leap down like a gazelle. Go on, leap like a gazelle. And I'll get pulled over by this lead that's attached to my belt. Almost a hilarious comedy moment there. Well, we got here and there was about half a dozen cars in the car park, and now it's full. We timed that right once again. Oh, and there's an interesting sign. It says path to Limekiln. I know we use the phrase stealth camping, but you could never call something that yellow stealthy. It's a real pity. You get a cracking view of the new Queensferry crossing from up here. It's over there, but this little camera won't show it up. Really like to get something better to do some long distance filming with. And what we're doing is the money that people give us through Patreon, we are all putting into a little account and not touching. And one day we're going to use that to buy better gear to give you guys better videos. Obviously we can't use the buy DeNiro a biscuit money from Kofi, because that is DeNiro's money for biscuits. Yeah, so we've seen a sign that says Limekiln, but we don't know where it is. It could be like Limekiln 5 miles. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's up here somewhere. We'd make a lot better progress, but unfortunately today DeNiro has taken sniffing to a whole new level. There must be a whole new array of smells around here for him to stop and sniff. Typically we've come down the hill, and as soon as we got to the bottom the sun came out and everything has brightened up, so we'll have to get you some more shots of how nice this all looks. It's all so many shades of green. Yeah, the path to Limekiln looks like quite a long path to Limekiln, but we've come this far, we are not stopping now. Still no sign of a Limekiln, but we will stop to look at the view that is getting more and more beautifully lit by a lovely sun that is up there, but you knew where the sun was. I don't believe I just did that. You know where the sun is, it's in the sky. Oh no, a disaster has befallen me. Oh no. Bex and I have this competition about who walks the furthest, so we have our watches, and when we go for a walk we'll obviously record it on our watches, and I've done all the stuff up that hill over there and back down again and all the way along here, and I forgot to start my watch. Oops. Hello Mr. Bullock, or possibly Mrs. Cow, but I'm thinking Mr. Bullock, how are you? Chewing your cud. And there's all your wee friends over there. How come you're the only white one? Are you just like being different, do you? DeNiro's interest level in the cows is 0. DeNiro, do you want to go and chase the cows? No, can't be bothered. And over there, that hill in front of us, is Ben Lomond again, looking very nice and all sun mottled. Now why didn't it do that when I had the drone up? No idea. Hey ho. If we don't find this Limekiln soon, I'm just going to double back and edit all the mentions of it out of this video so it looks like we never even tried, because I've got no idea where it is. Oh, and DeNiro has spotted it first. I think that is it down there. Let's go for a wee look. I hope you're not having too much difficulty standing this excitement. Oh, we've done it again, because there is the Limekiln and a notice board, and there is a nice path, and there is the cliff face that we are now going to try and get down. This is going to go wrong. I think we might go back up and round and down the proper path. How's that for a plan? Oh, it's that we can't go anywhere because DeNiro has got his leg caught round his lead. DeNiro, let us rescue the Greyhound from this predicament. Yay! Right, come on then. Yeah, this looks like a much easier way to get down. It's got the gate. Come on DeNiro, let's go and explore the Limekiln. Are you excited? Are you excited? He looks excited, doesn't he? I like an informative notice board because I can read it and pretend I know what I'm talking about, but it looks like here I am on my own. If you want to know why there are lime kilns in these hills, what we need is a wee bit of history. What you're standing on now is the bottom of the sea, and that's where the limestone deposits come from. It's like dead animals and stuff that were in the sea and then died, sunk to the bottom and became limestone by some chemical process that I can't even begin to imagine. But obviously tectonic movement on the Earth's crust. We're now 315 metres above sea level, but that's why there are limestone deposits in these here hills. So you look at this and think, very nice, very peaceful. But the reason that they did lime was soil here is not great for growing, it's very acidic. So if they add lime to it, it becomes more alkali and is better for growing plants. So what they did was they got the rock out the ground and then they burnt it to produce the sort of lime ash that they spread in the soil that then made it more fertile. It's also used limestone mortar for buildings, so it's quite an important product, which is why it was worth the effort of coming up here to mine it and then burn it and then sell it. It's a nice little industry. So this would have been a hive of activity. There would have been horses and carts coming and going all the time, bringing raw limestone and coal in and taking the finished product out. So it would have been very, very busy. I was going to say, are we going to go for a wee look inside the furnace? But you know me well enough by now. Of course we're going for a wee look inside the furnace. Are you coming then or not? Or are you just going to lie here in the grass? Oh, boo, it's all bricked up, but it's still quite an impressive structure. And now we're going to get a look at this from above with the drone and get an idea of the layout of the site. You always want to go first. You're not going first this time, no? Yeah, it's too narrow. He walks up this. He doesn't like being closed in, I don't think. Maybe it reminds him of his greyhound racing stalls, but he's not keen. But we'll see how he gets on walking up here. He is following me, I hope. Are you following me? Yeah. Ow! Once again, shorts and nettles, not a great mix. Ouch, stung. Well, they're all standing up, so it's not going to rain, and they've all come down to see the greyhound. Hi guys! So we have come down to the Pillars of Hercules, which is just a really posh and pretentious name for a farm shop and cafe on the Falkland Estate. So we're going to go there now for a wee look and a wee coffee and perhaps a wee cake. If you want to come and visit, Falkland is a really nice place for a wander about. Now, I knew about Mary, Queen of Scots, playing here as a wee lassie, because this was her family's palace, obviously at Falkland Palace. I did not know that Johnny Cash's ancestors came from here. This was the original Ring of Fire. Lots of really interesting looking things like the Tyndall Bruce Monument and the ruined Temple of Decision and Maspy Den, which has got some waterfalls. So yeah, we're going to have to go and find out how to get to all those things without having to walk miles, because DeNiro has had just about enough of walking. Oh, and a witch's cave. Oh, there you go, we are heading in the right direction. It says it's 200 metres up this road, so let's go for a wee look past this really nice and sadly derelict house. You'd think Falkland Estate would have that done up and rented out for holidays, or have somebody living in it. It's a really, really nice building. Oh, right, there it is, there, the Pillars of Hercules. Let's go for a wee look. The Pillars of Hercules farm shop is really famous in the local area. It's a very popular place to come and get good quality, locally grown and locally sourced fresh food. So that's the shop, but where is the cafe? Oh, there's a sign that helps, that'll be it in there. That goldfish bowl full of old people. And a massive queue, so we'll give that a miss. That's another one of those quite cool National Cycle Network markers that you can follow to go and explore on your bike. I'm sure the organic, free range, free trade coffee is very nice, but there's also a massive queue, so I'm going to go and find a Starbucks. Also, boo! Now, we've been in Falkland before. There is the palace, but you can't really do a video on the Lomonds without showing a little bit of Falkland, so we'll show you a little bit of Falkland, but not much, because most of it is on our previous video that is about Falkland, funnily enough. And, as you can probably guess, it is quite a historic place. There's a thing from 1607 above that pub. That's a statue of Onesiphorus Tyndall Bruce. So hello Onesiphorus. Bet you had to spell that every time you tried to phone up a bank for a bit of customer support. How are you spelling that? O-N-E, yeah, as in the number. Impressive big church. impressive wee fountain. We do like Falkland, as you probably guessed. And we still don't know why there's a marriage lintel away down there. And if you want to know what a marriage lintel is, watch our previous video. Lots and lots of history in one wee place. Centrepiece of which is that Falkland Palace. That is really cool. One day we're going to go in there when we join the National Trust for Scotland. Oh, another wee bit of history. We'll have to find out what that is. Some of it is in English. A praise to God and thanks to the most excellent monarch. And then it switched to Latin, I think, so we'll have to do some translating. Nice lintel too, NM80 1610. That's a marriage lintel, I think. As well as showing you good people some of the sights of Falkland, the other reason that we came down here was for a cup of coffee and perhaps a wee cake, or maybe that scone. I think I'll have that wee scone right there. But if you can't decide between a cake and a biscuit, there you are, you can have both in one. Well, unfortunately, our nice start to the day has not continued, and it is now pouring with rain. So I think we're going to head back home, and we'll come back out again with Bex and we'll explore the sights of Falkland Estate. Well, it's 2 days later and the rain has finally stopped and Bex is here. Yay! So we're now going to go and explore Falkland Estate, and DeNiro is down there ready to go. It's quite funny when we're walking along with DeNiro and people see him coming. If they've got a little dog, they tend to move the little dog out the way. Now, I've seen lots of really unpleasant, yappy little dogs, but I've never met an unpleasant greyhound. Bex is on a mission. We are looking for the stables, which is where the cafe is, and we're trying to avoid all the mud. Yeah, I'm quite glad we didn't bring our bikes because it is a bit muddy, and also DeNiro is rubbish at riding his bike. His wee paws can't reach the pedals. So this is the Falkland Estate where Mary Queen of Scots should have came and played as a child. It's very pretty, but today it's not awfully warm, but at least it's stopped raining finally. We are, as is very often the case, a little bit lost. We're trying to find the stables and we know they're up here somewhere, but we're not entirely sure where. But there's something down here, so let's go for a look. We now know where we're going. It is up this way. Yay! Judging by the throng of people up ahead, I think we have found the stables and the cafe. Oh, now that was worth the effort of the wee walk, wasn't it? That is the estate's old stables. Bex is going down there to find the cafe. I'm going here to look at the front of the stables, which I think is quite an impressive building. That is really cool. But our wee coffee hunting missile is off hunting a coffee.
There's no doggy biscuits here. We have to wait till we get home.
DeNiro, I don't know what you're smelling down there, but it's it's obviously quite interesting. You could try just lying down if you want. Would that be a good idea? No? Going to keep sniffing at this carpet in this tent that we are sitting in. On DeNiro, it's time to go and look at the shop. By which I mean Bex is going to go and look at the shop. We are going to wait outside because DeNiro is not a great fan of shopping. Unless they've got biscuits. They might have biscuits. Bex, check if they've got biscuits. Now, when we were leaving last time in the peeing rain, we drove along a road up there past a really impressive looking ruin, and I think that is that really impressive looking ruin just up there. So we might go and have a look at that, and we might come back with the drone and get some nice photos of that for you good people. And while Bex is in the shop, we're going to go into the old courtyard through the old coach entrance. This is really smart. I really have never been here before. It's a very, very nice building. Look at that. And there's the back of the cafe, and this is the courtyard. And that would have been stables over there, which I'm guessing are all offices and stuff now, and that's probably houses over there for the staff. And there's that great big hill that we were up in your case a few minutes ago, in our case a couple of days ago. So I'm going to guess this is part of the original entrance to the estate. There's a gatehouse there and a big gate, and then this rather fetching little pond with this nice balustrade and a little bridge. It's really quite cool. Things you can do if you've got the money. What a nice wee gatehouse, but I think there's people living in it, so I'm going to put the camera away. And there's Bex, who's been around the shop and probably had a nice wee poke around and saw some nice things. Did you have a nice wee poke around and see some nice things, did you? This is Falkland Estate, which means there has to be a Falkland House, and we've just found this sign that says Falkland House School, and then it says no entry. So I'm just going to walk down here a little bit, if DeNiro will come with me, and he's got no choice because we're attached. And that is Falkland House up there, which you can't really see, but it does look quite impressive. It would look quite impressive if there wasn't a massive tree right in front of it. Well, that tree's still kind of in the way, but there's an awful lot of flies and bitey things here. So there is Falkland House up there for your viewing pleasure. Nice big house. And Bex has just spotted this. That is one of the things that we saw on the map back at the start. This is a path up to Maspide End, which looks very nice. Bex is already on her way for a wee explore. Yeah, dogs should be on a lead all the time, but DeNiro identifies as a deer, so it's fine. And when you get up here, you do get a slightly closer view on the way up to Maspy Den. That is Falkland House. How amazing is that? It's a school now, so you can't get access to it, but you can look at it from the outside, and obviously that's what we're doing. Duh. That's quite impressive, isn't it? That's a bridge, obviously, but it's a very nice one. I do these things and I walk about and I hear myself talking, obviously, and I hear myself say things like, that's a bridge, and then my brain goes, shut up, they know what a bridge looks like. DeNiro has now got to a point where we say stop, and he's like, why? What have you seen that I haven't? What I've seen is there's people just up here, and he hasn't seen them yet. But he's a lot closer to the ground than I am. Jeez, oh, whoever designed this has just said, build me lots of tunnels, make it all look really nice and a bit ruinous and a bit mysterious, because we've just come under that bridge and now there is this little bendy tunnel. Just let the people through first before we go in. Right, into the dark and mysterious wee tunnel thing. We'll see you on the other side, because it is actually very dark and mysterious and very muddy. I hate to think what sort of state my shoes are in by the time I get through, but at least we're not wearing sandals. A girl just went the other way wearing a pair of sandals. She's now got muddy toes. So I'm thinking this was all just folly. It was all just built for the because we can factor. There's as much sort of stonework and masonry and bridges and architecture in this park than there are in some small towns. We are still on the right trail, and there's yet another big bridge built for no good reason. This is getting really boring. There's another wee bridge over there. There's just too many little nice bridges, too many picturesque little bits to look at. I'm glad to see it's not just me that DeNiro doesn't cooperate with when it comes to photography. Are we recommending Falkland Estate as a place to visit?
Definitely.
Definitely. Even DeNiro is having the time of his wee doggy life. There's the brave exploring doggy looking at the waterfall and then deciding, nah, it looks a bit wet. Okay, up these stairs. As usual, DeNiro has got to be first. It's only another pretty little bridge in this pretty little den. Meh, getting bored with this now. So, bridge, pretty river, flight of steps. That ticks the 3 boxes that we've had so far in Falkland Estate, or this part of Falkland Estate. It's occurred to us that we're heading for Maspy Den, but neither of us know what Maspy Den actually is, so it might have been that waterfall back there. We don't actually know, but oops. You don't mind, do you? We're just out for a nice walk with a dog. Well, we think this is the den because just look at that amazing waterfall. And one of the most amazing things about it is you can do this. If you go under a waterfall today, you're probably going to get wet. That is quite impressive. And down that beautiful little glen there, it's really nice. This is a beautiful, beautiful place. Again, never been here before, no idea it was here, but well worth a visit. It is quite cool. We're under this big rock overhang here, but we're going to go round here and back up the path down the other side of the glen from the way that we came up. So was that Maspy Den? We're going to say yes, and you're probably going to believe us, but we don't actually know. Oh, we have to follow these instructions, but unfortunately, someone has stolen the gate. And Bex is off doing her Dr. Dolittle bit, talking to the sheep. And because there's sheep about, obviously, back on his lead. Not because he would chase the sheep, just because a farmer might get upset if he sees a greyhound wandering about. Yeah, Bex has just come up to the sheep, and it turns out she's not talking to the sheep, she's found a view. And wait till you see this, this is quite nice. Well, that is a view from wherever we are. Not entirely sure, in the Falkland Estate somewhere, but yeah, look at that, that is just cracking. Yeah, we saw a tower in the distance, and we've now got even more lost trying to find it. We just saw a guy out on his bike, and he told us how to get back to where we started. And then while I was telling you that bit, DeNiro jumped in front of the guy on his bike and he fell off. Oops. The guy was going quite slowly, but DeNiro did stand in front of him, so... Oh dear, we're out making friends and influencing people. We've decided that instead of doing any more adventurous off-road walking, we've found the road that takes us back down into Falkland. So we're going to go back down this way because this walk is turning out to be somewhat more arduous than we thought, and neither of us have got the right shoes on. East Lomond from here looks like a very sort of hardcore walk. I just told Bex I walked up there and she was very impressed. I didn't tell her we'd parked about 3/4 of the way up. On the plus side, this is all downhill. On the minus side, there are so many flies. Right now there are 4 sitting on my camera. Get off! Get up!
We've been following Google Maps and I think we've found the recommended path. What do you think about this as being greyhound friendly?
Yeah, I think the line on Google Maps is not really designed for greyhounds because, yeah, if a style is the enemy of the greyhound, then what do you make of that? Yeah, I'm not carrying him over that. Let's keep walking. Yeah, DeNiro is world class getting in the way, and he just proved that because a car was coming down the hill behind us. So Bex stepped to the side, and I tried to step to the side, and DeNiro said, "No, I'm not moving." So we're standing there, tied together in the middle of the road, and the big lump, I don't know why, he's like, "Nope, I'm standing in the middle of the road, I'm not moving." Bex has found a gate. Is this the way into the estate? We have no idea. It looks like it's going the wrong way, but I see, yeah, what way do you want to go? Now, I would say that would be the sensible way to go, so we're going this way, into the dark and mysterious spooky woods. Whoa. It's alright though, we've got DeNiro for protection. Any gruffalos here, DeNiro will sort them out. Yeah, not entirely sure this is actually a path, but hey ho, we'll keep going and see where we end up. If we get lost, we'll obviously let you know, because it'll be hilarious. At least in here there aren't any flies. They must not like the trees. Would just like to interrupt this little adventure to say thank you very much to all the people that have supported us on Patreon and Ko-fi. We really appreciate it, and if you'd like to support the channel, the links are at the end. I'm kind of thinking we've reached a bit of a dead end, and it's called a dead end because if you fall down there, you'd not be dead, but you'd be quite muddy. The path we want to be on is over there. So back up and down the road. You do wonder about how bright some people are, because this is obviously a woods. It is full of wood. It is all made of wood, and somebody's been in here having a barbecue. Genius.
Why do people leave the rubbish around? Look at the light in the forest there. It's beautiful.
That is quite impressive, isn't it? Atmospheric, darling, atmospheric.
It's lovely.
We're giving our viewers some atmosphere.
It's lovely.
This is quite cool. I'm walking down here enjoying the view but filming Bex in case she falls over, because she's just about slipped a couple of times, and that would be hilarious. No. We wouldn't want Bex hurting herself, because basically she'd probably whine quite a lot.
And you'd have to carry me home.
DeNiro, we could get him a little harness and he could pull you down the hill. Right, come on then, we've made it across the little river, now it's your turn. Are you alright? Just jump. You could help me. Jump, jump. I couldn't help you and film you at the same time though. Content, love, content. Yay! After all the excitement of jumping the river, if we'd come down about 5 metres, there's a little bridge. And just down a little bit from the little bridge, there is a much bigger bridge. Again, a very elegant piece of stonework. That is quite cool. We are liking the architecture of this park quite a lot, but I think we've just about come to the end, because there is a fence and some daylight, so let's go down that way. Oh dear, it's one of DeNiro's favourite sort of gates. He's got to bend in the middle to get round, and now he's going to say, no, I can't do that.
Come on, DeNiro.
Come on, DeNiro.
You can do it.
Come on. In there.
Yeah, tricky gates for dogs.
Yay! Alright, we've just come in a big loop and we're back at the other side of the school, which is just over there. Falkland House, now a school. And that means that a really cool set of ruins that we saw from a distance are somewhere down in front of us. Shall we go and have a look at the ruins? I think you all know the answer to that one already. We're not really sure what this little building is. We both thought it was like a bird hide, you know, to watch the birdies, but it's not. And we're not sure what that little building is, but we can probably guess that could be the outside toilet. Although I wouldn't imagine so in Falkland Estate. So there you go, from a little bit closer than last time, as in you can see it. That is the ruined chapel that is in the estate. That is really quite impressive. We're going to go in there for a wee look, and then if we're feeling brave, we might have a look at it from above with the drone. I don't know if we can... no, we can't get in there. They don't want you getting in there, clearly. Oh well, that's what it looks like on the inside. I'm guessing that is set up for weddings with the sort of flowery, archy thing over there. That is quite an impressive building. We are liking that quite a lot. It's a pity that we can't get inside for a better look. Maybe if I get married again. Nah. This is interesting to me for a reason that I will maybe show you one day. But there's a Falkland Palace Lego Explorers badge lying there. Yeah, we do like a bit of Lego. over there are some little sheepies who are not at all sure about the greyhound. Hi guys, it's okay, he's attached and he means you no harm. You do get quite a good view of the stables from here. I mean, that is quite a grand building for something that was intended to be completely utilitarian. I mean, it was just for keeping horses and carriages and very probably staff in. Gives you an idea of what that house would look like if you could get close enough to actually see. And if it wasn't a school, if it wasn't a school, I could film it. But I'm not getting caught filming a school. Oh good, we managed to avoid getting lost again, and there is a flash of yellow that says, here's Mabel. So we are back at the Pillars of Hercules. So we're going to go into the shop for a wee look. Now I know I went in there earlier and didn't think much of the cafe, but the shop itself looked quite good. Right, we're looking to get some nice free range organic stuff for our lunch today, but if it's really expensive we're just going to go to Aldi's. And that is that for our little explore of the Falkland Estate. We do hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, as always, come back soon for more Scotland on a shoestring. DeNiro, do you want a drink? So I'm sorry, it's not natural mineral water, I'm not interested.
It's natural mineral water.
Actually it is, yes, it's very natural mineral water. Go and get a drink, come on. Yeah, that's eating grass, that's not quite the same thing, you doofus. Yeah, that'll work.